Hello everyone, this is Wilson. Welcome back to my 1 minute presentation. So today I'm going to talk about the Chak on-road driving test route number 1 tips. So let's begin. So at the beginning, you will see there has two junctions and you are required to turn left. So that when you are close to the junction, you have to turn your steering wheel to the left side a little bit before you go out the junction. Also, this is a giveaway sign here, so you have to make sure there has no cars on the right hand side before you drive out the junction. And then after you go out the junction to the main road, you are required to turn left. So after you turn left here, please stay left. Just stay on the left line, and then you have to cut to the line here. So as you can see, there has 3 lines here, 1, 2, 3. So at the beginning, you have to stay left, and then after going to this position, you are required to cut to the second line, and then keep driving forward. After you seeing the last intersection, you have to cut the line again here, so that you are going to the main road again. So before cutting the line, make sure there has no car on the right hand side, and you have to check the mirror and look straight right. So after passing through that 3 cutting line, you have to also cut one more line here. So after passing these 2 white lines, you have to cut here. Also make sure you have to look at the mirror and check the shoulder check before you cutting the line. So after cutting this line, you will have a very steep slope here, and you have to be required to turn right here. So after you are cutting this line, you don't need to accelerate, so that you just lie down your car and just keep your leg on top of the brake to ensure you are going to, you are in a slow you are in a slow driving in this slope. So after you slide down to that slope, you will go to this small tunnel. So in here, you're required to shift to the third gear, and then after passing through this yellow and white sign, you have to start to acceleration, because you are going to you have to drive up to this loop again, so that you have to accelerate. So after you drive to the on top of the slope, and you can stop accelerate, and then there has an intersection here or junction here. You have to look at the mirror and check here whether there has a car running out. So very be careful in this in this in in this in this place, because this is you have to stop acceleration after driving uphill, and then you have to look, and then you also have to drive down, and also you have to make sure there has no car near your line, and no cars cutting through to your line. So this place here is very dangerous, so I have to be careful here. So after passing through the previous position, the previous place, so you have to change you have to change the second gear and stop at either this traffic light or this traffic light. So if this traffic light turn to red, so that you have to turn second gear and stop here. But if this traffic light is green, you can just drive third gear and pass through this traffic light, and then you have to change the second gear and stop at the second traffic light here. So this is very tricky. So this light is not changed very often, but it will change sometimes, so be careful here. So after passing through the second traffic light, you have to turn left. So just turn the left indicator, look at the mirror on the left hand side, and turn left going to this line. So after cutting in this line, you will overcome a very sharp turn here. So as you can see here, the turn is very sharp. So you have to turn left very later. Don't turn very. So you have to turn left later here. So turn left here. Around you have to you have to move your steering wheel around this sign, I think. So after that, you will see you will going in this road. So as you can see, there are people there has a bike, and there has a 行人過路樹. So that you have to make sure the people are standing here and not rushing out, and be careful with this bike, and be careful with the people who are crossing through this road. So be careful and check everything before you drive. So after that, you have to turn left and going through this loop. So in here, you will see here we have some deaf cars, and some of the bike will just drive down here just like that. The bike may cutting through your lines, so you have to be careful. You can either drive very slow, wait the bike passing through you, or you can just stop here and wait until it's safe. So after you're driving the upslope, there may have some deaf cars here, and you will have a blind spot here. So after driving the upslope, you have to check the blind spot here and be careful with the deaf cars. So this is I think it's the last turn here. So after passing through that blind spot and an estate, you have to require to turn left to back to the driving school or the driving test area. So you have to turn left, right? So you have two choice to choose whether you're driving in the second line or the first line or the second line. So how to choose it? So if there has no deaf cars here, you can just drive the first line and drive uphill. But if there has a deaf cars here, you can just turn left and get the second line and drive up. So there has some bus stop at the last road. So if there has a bus stop here, you can drive very slowly behind the bus, or you can just stop and wait until the bus drive. So this line is a single driving line, so you have to drive faster. So I prefer to drive at 40 kilometers per hour with second gear, and keep your car at the left hand side and don't pass through this brake line. So lastly, you are required to stop in this loop. So you have to stop next to this ice cream cone. So turn the left indicator and press your clutch, press your brake, and then stop, and then handbrake. So after stopping in this position, you have to require to drive back to the driving test area. So that turn the right indicator, check your mirror, also check this blind spot, and then turn your steering wheel, and then make sure after turning the steering wheel, and then you have to you have to make your steering wheel to center, and then drive into the driving school. Yes. So this is the end of my presentation. Thank you.